name is Dr. Donald R. Evans. I am the 87-year-old founder of the National African American Family Reunion Association. NAFRA is its acronym. The purpose of this organization is to get all of our concerned brothers and sisters that make up a family in the United States of new African people, those Africans who were born of slaves in this society, is to get us working together for the first time since we came out of slavery. And the only exception to that is the program that was instituted by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and that of the Honorable Marcus Garvey. Our people have attempted to work together, to stay together, to build together, to love this nation, not because of the fact we came by the Statue of Liberty, but because we came in the bows of ships to places like Atlanta, South Carolina, and the Virginias in 1619, when the ships docked and let off the first indentured servants that became our foreparents born in this society that some people refer to us as Negroes that we never were. What we need to do, and we have known this for a period of time, is eliminate all of the negative things that divide us as a people and start taking care of ourselves, not being dependent on anyone that gives you something looks at you as a beggar, and we are not beggars. There's enough money in the treasury at the moment because we are borrowing money from China. So evidently there isn't enough money in the treasury to pay reparations to those that was brought here against their will in order to take their free labor to build the foundations of this great nation. We are asking our families to register in this movement, this family movement. On any given Sunday, there are millions of Africans born in this country. And we are beginning to call ourselves new Africans because we are not the same Africans that was taken off the motherland many years ago. But we are Africans nevertheless. As African as those Africans that was taken into slavery that came across that horrific Middle Passage. We are asking these families, when they go to service on Sunday to worship our Heavenly Father, just think about it. If we should take one Sunday as Registration Sunday, that number that we're looking for will be surpassed by 1 million. And we will be able to do for ourselves. We will stop becoming only consumers and become producers. And wherever you are consuming something, you raise it, you pay for it to yourself, and recycle that money in your community to bring back the infrastructure that we were in the process of building stronger across this nation. And in many cases, there were those who was envious of our success and destroyed what we had started. But it didn't die. In the spirit of Black Wall Street, for those of you who don't know what that is, you will learn shortly, because we shall teach you so that you thoroughly understand that we are not lying about anything that we're saying. We have another one on. She was older than Black Wall Street. She's called Mound Bayou, Mississippi. Mound Bayou, Mississippi was organized July the 12th in 1887 by former slaves and has stood ever since. She now have need for those of us that should have the ability to look at that town site and see what those pioneers did with no more than the land. They asked to be given a tract of land and they would take care of themselves. They did that, and they did it exceedingly well. We're not asking for anyone to give us anything now. We're looking to ourselves for the resources to do what it is that we must do in order to get the targets off our children and pull our children closer to us and educate our children properly and get our children away from worshiping drugs and worshiping guns. That's what we need this number for. We want all of our citizens to understand. I myself am a veteran of 3 wars. I'm 87 years old. I have a love for this nation that is born out of my service. I grew up in the military. Before Japanese government signed the peace treaty for the Second World War, Uncle Sam had sent me a long letter and said, "Greetings, son, come forward, I need you." And I was drafted in and stayed in. I actually reached my maturity of manhood in the military. And I stayed for 26 years. And I jokingly tell people now I got out before I got hooked on it. I really got out because there were questions that I wanted to know. Who am I? What was this man sent here for? What is my debt to my ancestors? And when I went to school, I left the military to go to school. I had to take my retirement papers out of a commanding general's hands because he wanted me to stay in and become his black troubleshooter, because many of the young airmen in the Air Force would not take the same racist attitudes from their non-commissioned officers that supervise them during the day. And in the evening when they go home to their families, the young brothers would get a couple of beers under them and want to destroy the base, and the Air Force wasn't going to have none of that. I think we all can appreciate that. So I was asked to put a stop to it in the 22nd Supply Squad. That one of my son-in-laws come out of that song, because where he first came in contact with me, and incidentally, he is out of Mississippi, right near the area where I'm in Mississippi right now, campaigning to end poverty. We are a mighty people. We are not weak. We're not even a violent people, even though we do many heinous things to ourselves. Sometimes our children are not protected, and the last thing in the world that was known in our societies, in our tribal land, is that anyone would touch a child or do something heinous to a child that we see all the time. The reason why I'm telling you this is because there are individuals in this society right now that think all that we want is a handout. And the welfare system trained many of us to exist that way, that we just want a handout for somebody else's labor. But all of us are taxed the same way everyone else is taxed. So we're not asking for anyone to give us anything, but we are asking for opportunities to avail themselves of us cutting the ribbon of the Red Sea of poverty that circles our people in places like Mississippi and in my home state, Arkansas. I leave out of Texas, I drive across Arkansas, I'm driving across the second most impoverished state in the Union to get to the most impoverished state, Mississippi. And you have no idea how many trips that's in my mind on when I'm doing this. And both of these states are beautiful. Much has to be done. Much is asked to be done. And to give you my word, as long as God have me standing, much will be done. We are going to make a difference in our people, starting out of Mississippi. Mississippi is the model. And when we finish that model, I'll get it well to rolling. When the people in poverty have the resources to work their way out of poverty, then you will see a difference. So we have boots on the ground. It isn't that we don't have people to work and to do what it is that we're talking about doing, and we shall show you. Not that we're obligated to show you, but we have to convince our people that America is worthy of loving. And she's worthy of loving because much of the blood of our people is in the soil of this nation. And that blood is calling out to us for a different behavior. So I want everyone that see this video to understand my love for this country is greater than any man that you're going to encounter walking the streets of Texas or any other city. So I want you to please honor these words, question anything in the words. We have a website that's up, and you can go to the website and learn additional information about what it is that I'm talking to you about. Again, this is the African American Family Reunion Association. NAFRA is the acronym. NAFRA.org is the website. Please go to it for additional information and keep your eyes on the Facebook of this organization, because I assure you there is much more to come. I thank you and God bless you.